Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Mannschrecks. I am your host, Sarah Mannschreck.
And I'm that other host, JJ Mannschreck. And we are back for another crazy episode. I'm pretty excited about this episode, actually. I've got some good stories, and we got an old segment that's coming back. So are you ready to approach the news desk?
I sure am.
All right, let's dive in. Maryland High School listed on Zillow for $42,000 in a creative senior prank.
Wow.
I love it.
Wow. That's a good senior prank.
My favorite part is that they put it up as a jail. Like
Yeah.
they listed it as a jail, not as a school. A Maryland high school was listed on Zillow in what officials suspect was an quote-unquote incredibly creative senior prank. Meade Senior High School was listed on the online real estate marketplace this week for $42,069, which that was like some teenage boy adding that little bit. In the ad, which has since been removed, the Fort Meade School was described as being a 12,458 square feet with 20 bedrooms, 15 baths, a spacious kitchen, and a private basketball court.
Nice. Wow.
A nice half-working jail is on sale for a steal. All 15 bathrooms come with sewage issues! Exclamation point. The school also comes with dangerous, unfinished sections that could cost you your life, the listing added.
Nice. That's so ridiculous.
Now that I'm rereading this, though, I'm sitting here thinking like 20 bedrooms. So like classrooms, right?
Yeah,
but
there must be.
Only 20? That's not actually very many classrooms. Like, no. I got to figure that's actually really small for a high school.
Unless they're thinking that like the offices are the bedrooms and then the classrooms are like, I don't know.
I could see that. But
it's a goofy senior prank. It doesn't have to make sense.
It's true. They might have just made up numbers. They're like,
that's ridiculous.
Because if it has 15 bathrooms, like 20 bathrooms is like or 20 classrooms, it's like a bathroom for every class.
For every single one, yeah. That's ridiculous.
Senior officials took this suspected prank in stride, but they did take issue with the asking price. This is a quote from Bob Mosier, the chief communications officer at the public schools, the county public schools. This is an incredibly creative advertising, but we are stunned that the listers so vastly underestimated the value of this prime real estate with such amazing amenities.
Amazing. Seems like there's some sewage issues there.
Potential buyers would surely be flocking to snap up this deal, right? Well, it won't be on the market for long. It's not the only group of high schoolers who found a creative way to wreak havoc this graduation season. On Thursday night, North Carolina students poured cement into toilets at their high school as a part of a senior prank at Williams High School in Burlington, causing more than $4,000 in damages.
That's incredibly dumb. Ooh, that's destructive. See, I like the senior prank with Zillow because it's harmless. Nobody gets hurt. Nothing is damaged. There's no major, cost or... Wow, but pouring cement on the toilets, that's like a big, huge, absolutely.
Oh, because you have to replace the whole thing and the piping.
All the pipes.
Yeah. Oh, it's bad.
Oh my gosh, that's a nightmare.
I love pranks. I do. I have such a joy for that. I think they're fun. But
harmless pranks.
Yeah, you do not... I'm okay if if the only harm is that they're annoying. Like it's not harmful, but now I have to clean something up. Yeah. That's fine for me. But cement is not clean something up. That's replace something that has been damaged.
That's like damaging property. That's too far.
Like letting air out of someone's tire is super annoying. Slashing someone's tire is destructive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's annoying to have to get your tire blown up or whatever, change it to a spare. The school district said it's also investigating pranks at its other 5 area high schools after students ransacked classrooms, sprayed graffiti, threw eggs, among other acts of vandalism.
See, vandalism, that's just not cool. That's not cool.
Not a good prank. $42,000.
It's uncreative to,
Truly.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you act like a mob, right? Yeah. And you just trash stuff.
It takes the fun away and just makes it all.
It's like you said, it's uncreative. It's low-hanging fruit. It's super base level and anybody can do it. And it just, I think it takes real creativity to think, I'm going to get on Zillow and fool their whatever process to verify and
sell my high school as a jail.
That's clever.
That's ridiculous but funny.
And also it's much easier. It's like one person on a computer for a half an hour, and it's the best prank that gets on the news. Yeah.
Well, and really, how could they trace it to someone? Like if they were actually mad. I can't believe you would sell this for $42,000. All right. So my first story. An Indian official is suspended after he drains a reservoir to retrieve a phone he dropped while taking a selfie.
No, wait.
In India, in New Delhi.
They drained?
A government official in India has been suspended from his job after he ordered a water reservoir to be drained so he could retrieve his smartphone, which he had dropped while taking a selfie.
Oh my gosh.
I think he should have been much more than suspended.
Yeah,
like,
you get
completely fired.
How self-involved do you have to be?
So this man was a food inspector, and he dropped his Samsung smartphone into the Kurkata Dam in the central Indian state of Chhattisgarh last week. So this is what the Indian Times of India newspaper reported. First, the man asked local divers to jump into the reservoir to find the device, claiming it contained sensitive government data. But after the initial efforts to retrieve the phone failed, he asked for the reservoir to be emptied using diesel pumps. Over the next 3 days, more than 2 million liters of water were pumped out, which is enough to irrigate at least 1,500 acres of land during India's scorching summer.
Oh my gosh. He should be in jail. They should fine him. That's millions of dollars. That's insane. And okay, I don't know anything about India's rain season. Maybe the reservoirs fill up easy, but that's my understanding of reservoirs. That's not how they work.
No.
You can't just pump it out and put it back. Right?
I cannot imagine. I can't imagine admitting that I dropped my phone taking a selfie. I would walk away, swallow the my pride and my stupidity, and just be like, you know what, it's done.
It makes me wonder though, maybe he was telling the truth. Maybe there was sensitive government data on there, or maybe there was.
How are you going to retrieve it? How are you going to retrieve that data? The phone is totaled.
You think it is?
It says in videos that went viral, this man was seen sitting under a red umbrella as diesel pumps ran to drain water from the reservoir. He told local media the water in the reservoir was unusable for irrigation, and he had received permission from a senior official to drain it. However, he was criticized for wasting water resources. Once the smartphone was retrieved, it couldn't start because it was waterlogged. India is one of the most water-stressed countries, and extreme temperatures had led to severe water scarcity, causing crop losses, forest fires, and cuts to power.
That's terrifying. That's awful. I can't believe.
I have nothing to say. That is just shockingly it's a huge problem.
Selfishness that would require.
Drain that reservoir because
my cell phone.
It took 3 days to drain.
I feel you're well, let's drain the reservoir, and then they tell you, well, it's going to take 3 days, sir. And then he says, oh, okay, never mind. Of course, what I just said is
find
insane.
A cell phone.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, literally, that's oh, I dropped my bike in the lake. We need to pump all the water out so that I can. No, the bike's gone. It's gone.
Yep.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, if you want to dive in or go and that's.
Think about the cost of everything. The cost of your cell phone and whatever could potentially be on, compared to the hundreds of thousands of things that have been affected now by this drained reservoir that wasted water
in a stressed,
drought-stricken place in the middle of summer where power has to be cut off and crops have been dying, and it's just it doesn't even compute to me. You don't do that.
It's baffling. That is.
I was
insane.
shocked to read that. So
wow.
Anyway,
for a selfie. For
a selfie.
Was it worth it, dude? Was it
nope,
worth it?
It absolutely was not.
I still am baffled by drain the reservoir instead of let me dive in. I don't know how deep this thing is, but
if it's that important to you, why don't you just dive in yourself?
Or if you got some money,
you ordered other people to dive in for you. He did. He ordered those officials.
They wouldn't do it.
They couldn't find it.
Oh.
They tried to dive in and search, but they were unable to locate it.
That's right.
So he said, drain it then.
That's insane. That's just ridiculous. Okay, so this next article is not only just kind of a fascinating little article, but I learned a lot.
Yeah.
Some goofy stuff. Okay. So first off, did you know there's a place in Oregon called Swastika Mountain?
Nope.
There is a mountain in Oregon called Swastika Mountain.
Okay.
Next to the town of Swastika.
Oh.
And it's being renamed Mount Halo in honor of a historic tribal leader. The lesser known peak in western Oregon's, and I don't know how to say it, Umpqua National Forest was renamed Mount Halo after residents suggested a change to the moniker. The U.S. Board of the Geographic Names approved the change for Swastika Mountain on April 13th. The new title, Mount Halo, pays tribute to Chief Halido of the Yoncalla Kalapuya tribe. The mountain, which stands just shy of 4,200 feet in elevation. So it's like a hill. Mm-hmm. It's not really it's not very high. But it made headlines twice in 2022. First on the state and local level when there were 2 missing teens who were rescued there by the Coast Guard. And then nationally when an 81-year-old petitioned to have the peak renamed.
Oh,
so first it shows up in the news because some teens went missing. Then they get rescued. And it's like they were rescued off Swastika Mountain. And the name Swastika Mountain goes across the news headlines.
Wow.
But then an 81-year-old Joyce McLean petitioned to have it renamed. She contacted the Oregon Historical Society and the Oregon Geographic Names Board to propose the name. She wanted to change it to Umpqua Mountain, which is like the region or whatever. But then when Mount Halo was proposed by some of the native folks, she was like, oh yeah, that's fine. She withdrew her petition, her submission. The former name has, so this is the part I thought was really interesting. Swastika, that has no ties to the Nationalist Socialist German Workers' Party, commonly known as the Nazi Party, that governed during World War II. It was named well before Hitler ever became a thing. Yeah. So Carrie Timchuk, executive secretary at the Historical Society, said that the mountain, as well as the now extinct town of Swastika, so there actually was a town called Swastika. It's gone now. But they were named after a cattle ranch of the same name in the early 1900s before Adolf Hitler and his party rose to power.
Whoa.
Yeah, so it existed before. And this is what's crazy. The U.S. Holocaust Memorial Museum says the symbol for the swastika, which that ranch used to brand on cattle, dated as far back as 7,000 years ago, and it means good fortune or well-being in Sanskrit. Mm-hmm. Did you know that? I didn't know that.
I feel like I have heard that before.
The little swastika symbol is an old Sanskrit symbol meaning good fortune. Mm-hmm. And then obviously in the early 20th century, the marker came to symbolize the German nationalists and Hitler's Nazi party.
Wow.
But it wasn't that before.
That's so weird.
And now it's such a ubiquitous symbol. You can't
keep a mountain named that.
No, but it used to be like this is Good Fortune Mountain, and
it's so sweet and peaceful sounding.
Yeah, next to the town of Good Fortune, and there's a famous cattle ranch, and they brand their cattle with this.
Can you imagine running into a bunch of cattle now with a swastika on the back, and you're like, what the heck just happened?
What is that?
Where am I?
This is a hate crime. Well, and I just think, yeah, Hitler was so, and he's like everybody's favorite bad guy, right? He's so awful, and the things that were done were so horrifying, even though there have been worse, right? But for some reason, he just became very iconic in a way that surpasses other people. I know that Stalin did a lot of really horrible stuff, but I couldn't draw you a picture of what Stalin looks like. I could draw you a picture of Hitler, right? Just a dude with that mustache, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know that Stalin or any of the, the horrible genocides that have been committed, like Mussolini. I know the name, but was there a symbol of the Mussolini party? I don't know,
Mussolini party,
whatever the Italians, I just think of all the, I don't know, I guess Hitler had a knack for symbolism and picking iconic images that really imprinted on people, and now that's a major problem. Yeah, but the mountain's new name was approved in a 19-3 vote. According to the meeting's minutes, it was made official by the U.S. Board of Geographic Names in mid-April. They know the woman who petitioned to change it. She said that she knew the mountain's name had innocent origins and that some people aren't fans of swapping out historical names, but she felt the swastika was no longer appropriate and needed to change. Looking back on it all, she's happy she saw the whole thing through. Nice. I totally agree with her. It's it doesn't matter if it's innocent. Nobody looks at a swastika.
It doesn't hold the same meaning.
Doesn't, it just loaded with meaning. And so, that was,
it's a good call.
So no more Mount Swastika. Now it's Mount Halo, which I get that it's tribute to a Native American chief, but in my brain, I just think of Master Chief.
I know, that's what I was thinking. I was like, is this the video game?
There's a video game called that now. Mount Halo.
Boy. Okay, well. Your stories seem much more interesting than mine because the second story is just, this may as well be Florida man.
Okay, so I know nothing about this except that you said there's a Hot Pocket involved.
Man shot roommate after accusing him of eating the last Hot Pocket. Police say. Surprisingly, this is not Florida man. No. This is in Louisville, Kentucky. So a man in Kentucky's largest city is facing criminal charges after allegedly shooting his roommate over dispute of Hot Pockets.
That's horrifying. I laughed, but that's so terrible.
The 64-year-old man.
Oh my gosh, these aren't even college students. I assumed. Who else is eating Hot Pockets?
He is just tied to his Hot Pockets. He accused his roommate of eating their last Hot Pocket and attacked him, shooting him in the butt.
So it wasn't deadly. All right, now I'm allowed to laugh. He got shot in the butt.
According to police, the man started throwing tiles at the man after he realized the last microwavable turnover was gone. He then shot him in the butt as he tried to escape.
Tiles.
This man is prohibited from contacting the victim, who was taken to the University of Louisville Hospital to be treated for non-life-threatening injuries. His bond is set at $7,500.
He got shot in the butt.
Man, did you eat my last Hot Pocket? How dare you?
I have so many questions though. Okay, so roommate, 64-year-old guy with a roommate is an interesting, there's some story there. Like if it was a family member, like a brother, or, like an uncle or something like that, then, but 64-year-old with a roommate throws tiles at him. What kind of tiles? Like dominoes? Mahjong tiles? They playing a game in the kitchen? And he's just like, you ate my Hot Pocket.
They were redoing their flooring. He was very hangry. And to find... No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, I was like, seriously? I thought you were reading that.
No, they were renovating their kitchen, and he was very hangry. And to find out that the last Hot Pot was gone was just too much for him. So he began to throw the supplies at his roommate.
I love me a good Hot Pocket. I do. And
I do not like Hot Pockets.
I ate a lot of Hot Pockets in college. But
I watched you eat a lot of Hot Pockets in college.
But they're not, they're tiny, right? They're not, super satisfying. You eat one and you're like, I need 5 more of those to feel full.
I remember you buying boxes of Hot Pockets and being like, these are great for lunches. And you'd eat 3 of them. And I'm like, that's not economical. It's not healthy. Have you looked at the serving size? And if you can't read the ingredient list, you probably shouldn't be eating it if it's too long.
Well, and I don't think I've had a Hot Pocket in 15 years, not since I graduated college.
I think I remember my mom buying them a couple times when we were in high school, and I remember it was like a convenience thing, and then I was like, these are not good, and they were just annoying to me because they never heated up correctly, so I gave up.
Hot, and I never liked that about them, but it's just baffling to me that you would get so upset. I think he was losing the game of dominoes. And so the Mahjong
tile. He threw up into the game of Mahjong at his friend and then decided to shoot him in the butt.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man. There are so many ways the story could have gone, but boy.
Shot him in the butt. It's terrible, but it makes me laugh a lot. That's just
isn't it just ridiculous?
Well, okay, and honestly though, I do think that it does, not to take it into a serious direction or whatever, but I do think it speaks to the as a country, we just need to calm down on all fronts, right?
Absolutely.
I just feel like we are responding with physical violence for things too many things, way too many things nowadays. It's dude, okay, everybody. It's a hot pot. First, this one is case in point. I think there are very serious things, but even on serious things, you don't need to be physically violent. But this sounds like
something my 4-year-old would get mad about to find out, oh my goodness, you ate the last
I get so mad.
Meat stick in the fridge or something, and he got mad and so, punched his brother or something. It's just an example. This has not happened, but
shot him in the butt.
I can't imagine going that escalated real quickly. Oh hey man, that sounds so good. I want a Hot Pocket too. Oh no man, I ate the last one. What? Game over.
Well, and I guess I don't know, maybe I'm privileged, but Hot Pockets are $2.
I know.
You buy a package of them for
apparently for this man there was $7,500 because he just has to pay that now and he's in trouble.
That's a great story. That is very good. Kentucky, huh? It's that Florida man fever is spreading.
Maybe
all
he's
over.
from Florida. I don't know. He traveled north.
All right. Hey, you ready for Sponsor Your Life?
I am. Past week we went to the zoo, the Detroit Zoo, which we have enjoyed so much.
We love it.
We're coming off the end of our final, time as members.
Yep.
We've had membership now, I think 3 years in a row.
We live too far away now.
Yeah, we do. It was a bit of an investment in time. We drove about an hour and 40 minutes to get down there this time.
It was
a good day. It was really fun. We went for the afternoon.
It was awesome.
They had a cool Bricktastic exhibit was what it was
cool.
called.
Yeah, it was like dinosaurs made out of Legos.
Did they have dinosaurs? They did have a lot of stuff. They had
like
all sorts of animals made out of Legos.
You're right. It wasn't dinosaurs.
It was really cool, though. The kids were fascinated to see how many people it took to build each one, and then how many bricks and how long it took to build. So there were some really ornate, very big, and then some small ones that were very detailed too. Just very colorful, fun things. So that was kind of our objective. Was they had like it was $5 for members to get in, and it was like a members only preview for the day. So we went down there and did that, and then just saw the rest of the zoo, and it was fun.
Great. And we had
it was really
family
fun.
come with, and it was so much fun. Like
it was awesome.
Always love a day, you know.
They do.
I took this great picture of them in the penguin exhibit, and it's just the four of them silhouetted, right? And they're just captured by it. We could have stayed in front of the penguin.
Yeah, they do love the penguins
area for like the whole day.
Yep.
It was really.
It was a good
fun.
day,
and that brick thing was pretty cool.
It was pretty cool.
It was fun.
Yeah. How about you? What's sponsoring your life?
You know, okay, so I know you have done this one a bunch of times, but now it's time for me. I actually came along and I went to Goodwill with you and the boys on Saturday.
Yeah.
And so specifically, I aim for like I don't really look at the clothes or sometimes, but like you go for things sometimes
that we
I feel
need,
like. And I go just like. It's like garage sailing for me. You know, I just go, and if there happens to be something I want, great. And if not, I'm out pretty quickly. And so I went and hit up the book section of Goodwill, and we found this amazing selection of, what do you call them? Like junior
classics,
children's
literature,
right? So it's the big books of literature.
Abridged for children.
But, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So he's reading Treasure Island right now. We've got Oliver Twist. We've got, and there were so many of them. It was like, whoa, like White Fang and The Secret Garden and like a ton of these books. And he's already plowed through one of them. And
he's plowed through 3 of them.
Okay, just kidding.
He read one this morning.
I believe you.
So
I totally do.
We just got them yesterday, and he's read 3 books already. So I don't know. My child eats books for breakfast.
And that's what I was thinking. I was like, I always go and look, and there's a couple books I'm on the lookout for.
But you trust classic literature a lot more. I haven't vetted a lot of stuff out there, and there are times where we'll go to the library and he'll be like, "This looks like it's my reading level." And you know how you can read, ages 8 to 12, and you don't know if it's, lexile content or what, vocabulary words to be able to understand, or maturity content. Like, what is it that is, gauging it between the ages of 8 and 12? And with all the books that we picked up the other day, I have read them, at least the adult version, so I know if there's anything questionable or, appropriate. And it was a good haul. You found some good books yesterday.
I was really pumped about it. And honestly, there were even more, but we already had some of them, and I was like, oh, we don't need these. But I was really excited to find those. Honestly, 2 of those are classics I've never even read.
Yeah.
So I was kind of excited to dive into those.
That's pretty cool.
Well. And yeah, I just, like you said, classic literature, you kind of trust it a little more. I'm not saying that new stuff is bad. It could be great, but we don't know. I haven't read it. And so I don't spend a ton of time keeping up on like the latest and greatest in
neither do I.
Kids fiction.
Well, and also there's a lot of stuff out there that's just like, it's like TV. Like it's a waste of your time. It's there for entertainment value, for whatever. And in some ways it's good, but like, is it necessary for them to read? Is it like, what are they taking away from it? And that's where I struggle a little bit, is like, I'm not saying like I need to control everything my child reads. However, what value is my child getting from that?
Well, and not to be snobbish or whatever, but I feel like, especially with classics, like they have stood the test of time because they are plots and devices and character development that are worth reading.
They're worthwhile.
They're good plots, right? It's like, there used to be like epic movies, and then there's like crappy movies, Oh
yeah, there's value in what they're obtaining. There's a lesson, or there's some sort of thing to be grasped, or
just good, better art,
better content. It's like if I choose to have a candy, and am I going to waste it on the cheapo, 50-cent Hershey bar, or am I going to go for like a really nice, high quality chocolate?
Right.
Like,
I don't eat candy that much, and so it's me. I'll go for the garbage.
I know you will, which is why we have very different tastes in movies. So, anyways.
How have we survived?
I don't know. How have you survived?
Goodwill was awesome, and I love that book section. Sometimes there's just nothing for you. There's a whole big, shelves of garbage. But every now and then you find a little nugget, and these were in great condition. They were all like brand new, and it was awesome, and I was really pumped. And they were 60 cents a piece. I mean, it was awesome. So it's a good find. And yeah, that's sponsor of my life today.
Nice.
Okay, so it is time. We're gonna take a little break from all those games. We've been playing so many games. Like every week, we've come up with a new different game, and I love them. They're fun.
Oh yeah.
But we're going back to one of our old segments called Mannschreck Environmental Stewardship Solutions or Strategies or something like that. It's M.E.S.S. because we got to talk about this mess.
Oh my gosh, I forget that you love acronyms. You're like the Leslie Knope of this podcast team.
Yes, I'm bubbly and I make little jokes and everything's organized and yes. So you and I care a lot about the environment. We are not interested in judging people or making people feel guilty, but just if there's small things you can do. And we talked about all kinds of stuff that we have done. So I found this article and I thought it was super fun. And so I wanted to share it with you.
Cool.
It is 10 or no, not 10. I think it's more than that. Crazy. Basically. Okay. So this, that was
just
like
breathe. Okay. I'll start over.
So from the website greenisthenewblack.com, which that's cute. Green is the New Black. This is an article called Crazy But Cool Inventions Solving the World's Environmental Problems.
Okay.
When it comes to the news about climate crisis, it can feel overwhelmingly negative, but the latest reports have made it clear that we still have time, which a little bit when I read that, I was like, I thought all the reports said that it's past time and it's too late and the world's on fire. I actually prefer a message with a little bit of hope. Mm-hmm. Change can happen fast if we really want it to. Here are some crazy cool inventions providing a glimmer of hope during these unprecedented times. Okay, so these are a whole bunch of these. Some of them are hard to describe and some of them are... I wonder how useful they are, but we'll just burn through them.
Okay.
So these are textile dyes the natural way.
Okay.
One big problem that affects Asia's poor water quality is the chemical pollution that comes from the textile industry. Now, just to clarify, textile is clothing?
Fabrics.
Okay. So
all fabrics.
It's not tiles. They're not making...
No, textile means fabric.
Okay. I didn't, that's why I was guessing, but my brain was not totally sure.
They're not mahjong tiles, JJ.
Are they not? They're making tiles over there. Okay, so as with all big issues, all it takes is a little thought to solve the problem. Enter colorifics is what it's called. It's identified the usual way to make textile dye is water and then chemical intensive dyes. Mm-hmm. So they came up with a crafty new clean and green way to do it. Using biologically driven processes guided by nature, they developed dyes using far fewer chemicals, energy, and 10 times less water.
Oh, that's cool.
This is pretty awesome, right? So that's the first one. Second one is a giant vacuum cleaner for smog.
Okay.
It's like an air humidifier type thing, or what's an air purifier?
I was going to say air purifier.
Imagine breathing in lungfuls of fresh, clean air, even in the most bustling cities. There's a guy, his name is Dan Rosengard, and he created a smog-free project. It's a massive tower. It's a smog-free tower, which literally sucks pollution out of the air. It comes equipped with environmentally friendly technology. It cleans 30,000 cubic meters per hour. And it uses a small amount of green electricity. It's like a giant vacuum cleaner for smog.
I would love to see this object.
That's kind of fun. All right, so this third one is a lamp powered by salt water.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, right? So it's aptly named SALT, Sustainable Alternative Lighting. SLT. Yeah, that's good. It's a lamp powered exclusively by salt and water. It uses a saline solution to power LED lights. It even has USB ports that you can plug in to charge your phone.
Of course it does.
It was initially created to help remote islands in the Philippines where access to electricity is scarce. But salt is here. Running on salt water.
That's interesting.
Okay, I really like this next one. Beer made from bread. When you thought it couldn't get any better than Jesus turning water into wine, the guys behind Crust figured out how to... It's called Crust. How to turn bread into beer. They take fresh surplus bread that would otherwise get thrown away.
Okay.
So all that, tons of bakeries.
I'm sure.
Right? Elite bakeries, leading hotels. They transform leftover bread into craft brews.
Really?
Yeah. Think about the yeast. And if you could pull it out of the bread... That's pretty cool.
That's creative. That's creative.
This next one I've actually seen the commercials for. Paper made from stone. According to WWF, the global pulp and paper industry accounts for 40% of all industrial logging. As the globe battles deforestation, the folks at its Karst, K-A-R-S-T, thought there must be a better way. They create paper without timber, water, chlorine, or acids. And they use only a third of the carbon footprint. They replace trees with stones. Recycled stone into a minimalist, functional, and beautiful project that is more durable and brighter than traditional paper.
That's so interesting.
I've seen commercials for this. It's very cool. Probably maybe a little bit expensive.
I was going to say it's probably more expensive.
They make it out of this instead of out of wood.
That's really cool.
Right. Another thing I really appreciated is when they're listing these technologies, they also give you little tidbits of what thing they were trying to solve. They're like,
okay,
there's this
that's
much,
helpful.
Pollution, or there's this much deforestation, or there's this much whatever. Here's how much this product uses, right? Mm-hmm. All right. Giant floating nets clearing ocean plastic.
That's cool.
You might have heard about this guy. Back in 2012, a 16-year-old kid named Boyan Slat, he gave a TED Talk.
Yeah.
You heard of this guy, right?
Yeah, I have heard this.
Yeah. So initially his idea flew under the radar, but within 12 months, the talk went viral. Crowdfunding blew up, and the ocean cleanup project took off. Fast forward 10 years, 11 years later, his ever-expanding team have successfully started removing plastic from the oceans and rivers using what is essentially just a massive floating net. It's actually very clever the way it collects up the plastic. Mm-hmm. The plastic gets collected up and then is transformed into beautiful, sustainable projects, which they sell, and then they take all the proceeds and invest it back in their project.
Oh, that's cool.
Of pulling stuff out of the ocean. You can get on that, and then they give links for donations and stuff. And I'll include this in the show notes.
Cool.
If people want to follow this, and all right. I really like this one. So this is called Life Straw. It's a magic straw that filters dirty H2O into drinking water.
I have seen this.
Really?
Yeah, I actually heard of it.
What began as a project to remove guinea worm larvae from contaminated water. So that was the problem. They got these worm larvae in the water. Mm-hmm. They created this technology, a straw that is... sorry. Oh, shoot. Okay, here we go. Sorry, the article's cutting it off. There we go. Okay, here we go. Guinea worm what began as a project to remove guinea worm larvae from contaminated water evolved into a straw that's pure sorcery. It can filter out all kinds of microbiological contaminants to make water undrinkable. Basically, what comes in dirty goes in dirty, comes out clean.
Wow. It
can turn up to 4,000 liters of contaminated water into drinkable water. Each life straw. You use each one can do 4,000 liters. It increases access to clean water for hundreds of thousands of people across the globe.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
I actually was reading into some of these technologies and clicking through the links and stuff, and there were other products where have you heard about this life straw thing? Apparently it's really legit, and it's massively changing people's lives.
That's so cool.
Okay, now this one is a little bit far out for me. My brain can't really wrap around it, but if they get it to work, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if I trust it, though.
Okay, it
is a forest made out of data. Okay, so big data is big business, right? Our insatiable appetite for it is killing the planet. There are giant data farms, right? Where all the stuff we create for the internet goes, right? And they occupy vast swaths of land and consume huge amounts of electricity. By 2025, global data centers are going to use more than 25% of our global energy.
Oh my gosh.
So when I think data centers, I just think the internet,
right? Right.
All that stuff. But it's not just the, it's medical centers and all this stuff. Our data has to be stored somewhere, and it uses 25% of our electricity.
Wow, I didn't realize that.
This astonishing fact triggered young innovator Monica Seyfried to take action. She's the brains behind Grow Your Own Cloud, a new biotech company that is learning how to store data in the DNA of plants. Isn't that insane?
My brain is what?
What? This all-new cloud storage has the potential to store all of the world's data into 1 kilogram of DNA. Yes, really. And if she has anything to do with it, we can expect to see data forests popping up soon. So they can take data, and I don't have any idea how this works, right? I'm so fascinated by this idea.
I'm so confused.
They're going to grow biological data farms. I don't know. It's strange.
I'll wait to see the news report because I have so many questions.
All right. Now, this one actually was the one that pulled me into this article.
Okay.
Concrete made from CO2, right?
What?
For every 1 kilogram of cement produced, more than half a kilogram of carbon dioxide is released into the atmosphere. It's responsible for an astonishing 5% of global CO2.
Whoa.
So it's not a ton, but 5% is not
That's
nothing.
pretty significant.
Cement, right?
Yeah.
Just the making of cement. So Solidia Technologies is a groundbreaking cement block that is a game changer for the cement industry. Each block sucks CO2 from the atmosphere during the creation process. You can actually watch a video on how it's done.
Whoa.
So most of the time when you're making cement bricks, they bring in it's like limestone, and they, add the water or whatever, and then they let it bake.
Okay.
Right? But this one, they actually bake it with CO2. They like pipe in CO2 and it solidifies, and actually solidifies faster, uses less limestone, and the cement result is just as strong and just as good as regular cement.
That's so crazy.
So they're using CO2 up instead of creating CO2.
Wow.
So it's really cool.
That's really cool for sure.
It's such a simple thing. It's like, actually, instead of having it be a byproduct, what if we put it in the process?
Yeah,
so
that's interesting.
Cements actually have it in there, and that actually changes the drying time. It apparently speeds it up. Apparently, it doesn't take as long when you're not using water.
Of course,
it's very interesting. All right, solar and pedal powered sound systems. A Hong Kong-based solar sound system is creating a sustainable and mobile sound system that brings quality acoustics to any event. All you need is a spot of sun and some pedal power. The setup includes turntables for DJs and a power system that works for events from 50 to 500 people.
Wow.
Right.
That's cute.
I thought this one was kind of fun. Stationary that you can plant. So we had stone stationary,
of course,
and this one is made of seeds.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Every year, a staggering 80,000 trees are cut down to meet the global demands of 14 billion pencils.
Wow.
Right? So this guy, Left Hand Design, well, his name is Radhika, but the company is Left Hand Design.
Okay.
He wanted to create an alternative line of pencils and notebooks that can live on as a second life as plants. So this woman, she created striking stationery, everything from pencils and notebooks to greeting cards and red envelopes. They're loaded with seeds. And so when they have fulfilled their job, you can pop them in the soil and watch them grow into herbs and vegetables.
That is so cool.
Isn't that amazing?
That's very creative.
Like if the boys color, which
oh
they
my
do
gosh, they go through so much stuff. Yeah.
And then it's like, take it, throw it in the back, and put it in the garden.
Yeah.
Know?
Oh my gosh, that's cool. I like that.
I like that one. A plastic alternative that is made out of methane. Mango Materials produces a naturally occurring biopolymer from the waste biogas, and it is economically competitive with conventional oil-based plastics.
Whoa.
So they are making plastic out of biogas, which is basically just methane.
Sure.
Converting a greenhouse gas into something that replaces plastics.
Oh, that's clever.
A massive win-win for planet.
Yeah.
This one's kind of funny. Cutlery you can eat.
I don't know that I want to.
The India-based Bakees is what it's called. It's edible cutlery free from chemicals, preservatives, and milk products, which I feel like it was really funny that they added milk products. I'd be okay if it had milk products.
Some people are allergic to dairy.
Here's the big part, though. They make this stuff, so it's cutlery, like plastic cutlery that you can eat, but it's the same price as plastic cutlery. I think that's a big deal. You know? And so that makes it a no-brainer. We love the Willy Wonka-esque vibes of chowing down on your spoon.
After you finish your soup.
This one's really cool, too. Lights powered by algae.
Ooh, that sounds cool.
There was a French researcher. If you guys want to find this article, I'll share it in the show notes. You got to go and listen to this guy talk. He's very French.
This is the one you were listening to earlier.
Yeah, you were there when I was doing that. So and I don't want to mess up his name, Pierre, and it's Calleja. Calleja? I don't know. I know that French is tricky to pronounce, but he has high hopes for microscopic single-cell microalgae. It has a potential to clean the air, fuel cars, and light city streets. When it comes to light, it is completely self-sufficient, creates all the energy required through photosynthesis during the day. So it's like these towers filled with the algae, and they sit out during the day soaking it up.
Yeah.
And at night they glow green.
That's cool.
And it's like these could light your city.
That's
and
so cool.
I was like, that's really awesome. All right, now this one. Okay, so a lot of these videos are real technologies that actually exist out in the world.
Mm-hmm.
This one, the video is like digitally created, which tells me that it's a dream.
Like a hypothetical.
Yeah, they haven't actually made the thing. But it is a tent that collects rainwater and stores solar energy, and it's collapsible. So the idea there is that refugees could make good use of it. If it collects rainwater, it provides a water source and electricity through the solar panels.
Oh, interesting.
Built with refugees in mind, this miracle home is also caring for the environment. It's called Weaving a Home. That's the name.
Oh, I like the name.
Yeah, it's very cool. It aims to transform the lives of refugees by providing stability and humanity. They look kind of goofy. They look really strange.
I'm sure they would have to if they're supposed to collect rainwater and be solar panels.
Yeah, yep. I love the idea, though. I think it's
a cool concept.
Now, the last few are kind of odd. Stylish ashtrays made from magic mushrooms and discarded cigarette butts.
No, thank you.
Just weird. Yeah,
Wow.
so that was, I think it was 19 crazy
Crazy.
inventions.
Some of those are really cool. I'd
Yeah.
love to see / even use some of those.
I think it would be so cool. I would love to take a walk in a city that's lit by algae.
Bioluminescent.
lamps. Yeah.
Covered in bioluminescent algae. It's diversion.
Very nice.
That would be really cool, though.
But I love the cleaning up the ocean one.
Yeah.
Because they're actually using it. It's not a
Yeah.
dream. It's like, no, it's actually out
It's actually
there.
happening.
The concrete one is cool, but I don't have much use for concrete. So it
Yeah.
doesn't mean much to me. And then
Yeah.
some of them are just like, do this instead of doing this.
Yeah,
You know, and I'm
which
like,
we already do.
we do as much of that as we can. We really.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, there was some cool stuff in there, and I thought that was super fun.
It's fun.
Anyways, we care about the environment, and if you can find clever and fun ways to do it, and a lot of those, if you want to check out that article, there were a lot of ways to like donate or give to those specific projects.
Very cool.
It's just we need creative minds coming up with new things. I'm not a big fan in the doom and gloom, like it's the end of the world. I don't think it's the end of the world. I do think we are having a negative effect on our environment, and if we all just chip in a little bit, we can take care of this little world that we've been given. And as Christians, right, that's a thing for us. We steward the planet. We are not ruling the planet. God gave it to us to take care of temporarily until he gets back. So we need to be good stewards.
Right.
Anyways, thanks so much for listening, everybody. We're glad you came, and we hope you just love listening.
Yeah.
That's all I got tonight.
All right. That's good. You ready for the joke?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. You want me to say the Music Town
Yes.
thing? All right. Thanks to much Music Town for the use of our theme song.
Now I'll say, are you ready? Are you ready with the mom joke of the week?
Yes, but the real question is, are you ready?
I'm not.
All right. So, did you hear about the bossy man at the bar?
A bossy man? No.
He ordered everyone around.
Around.
You're welcome.
That's pretty good. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.